Danny. Hey, what are we going to get? Brindle's much.
I'm seeing this on the truck.
Okay, are we gonna go get our milk? Yeah. We going to get our milk Friday morning. Okay, have our milk. We are going to walk up to the house. We're gonna stick it in the back fridge that we have here. It's just kind of like our overflow fridge. Usually I take it out of this gallon jug and just to make it easier to pour. And I will stick it into half-gallon mason jars with like pour spout lids on them. That way it's just easier when the boys want some or I need some. So there it is. Those are actually our jars. Our neighbors milk into like the pail and, you know, strain it for any impurities or dirt, things like that. And then it gets put in a different pail. And so then when we come to get it, we pick it up from our Amish neighbors. So there's no fridge. I make sure that I get there at like 9 a.m. every morning when they milk. From there, they pour it into my gallon size jar. And so right now we usually do 2 gallons a week, Tuesdays and Fridays. They always have an abundance of milk. They actually have 2 cows that are currently in milk. And so if we need more, we can always ask them for more because, you know, they're milking 2 cows twice a day. And then their extra, since they do not have a refrigerator, typically goes to their animals. So they'll feed them the extra milk. So this is real life homesteading. My boys are in the van listening to the Beatles because they are contained for a moment. We are going to drive out to the chicken coop and we are going to take care of the animals. So I will be back in just a second. You say hi? You say hi. You want to say hi? You wave. Say, taking care of the chickens. Okay, we're out at the coop. I am going to turn the fence off first. This is one of those Premier One poultry netting fences. So, one of the reasons that I leave the boys in the car is our 1-year-old is actually not currently walking yet. And while I don't mind my kiddos being outside barefoot, please excuse the noise in the background, they're singing the Beatles. I'm not a huge fan of him roaming around in the chicken coop and run area, you know, crawling because he's not walking yet. This is Roberta. She likes to hang out in these nesting boxes. I don't know that I'd necessarily say she's broody, but, you know, just hanging out. So, yeah, I usually leave the boys in the van when I'm doing this. Our kiddos get tons and tons of outside time. So it's not something that I'm like worried about. But if both of us are home, a lot of times whoever's doing the animal chores, Lucy, it's okay. Sorry, Lucy Goose is very unhappy this morning. She's hungry. But yeah, if both of us are home, one of us will usually bring Danny out. He's 3. And he helps collect the eggs. He likes to scoop the food, things like that. It's just a little bit more manageable. You know, I'm home by myself during the day with the 2 kids. And so I'm already outnumbered. And then I have all these animals to take care of. So this is real life homesteading. You you do what works for you and what works for your family, you will notice it's never quiet, always loud. Either the animals are loud or the kids are loud. Somebody's always loud. I have a Walmart t-shirt on and my shorts also came from Walmart. Hair's up in a ponytail. I am not out here as much as I would love to wear pretty dresses. It's just not functional, you know? It's not real life. It's not what's happening on a daily basis. So Alex had this idea last night. He was like, hey, why don't you take your phone and the little camera stand outside and do the chores like you normally would and show people what real life homesteading with 2 kids is like. Because you see all these like super aesthetically pleasing videos online, and don't get me wrong, I love those. I love watching them. Some of my favorites. But it's just not real life. It's not what's happening. Lucy. And then someone that I really enjoy watching actually is Justin Rhodes and his like Abundance Plus and Abundance Permaculture. And so if you watch his videos, you'll notice that they're very like uncut and raw. It's literally just like him taking a phone out and vlogging. I think he's actually doing something called Vlogist right now, where he is vlogging every single day in the month of August. Sorry, trying to get my hose in here so I can get them fresh water. Anyways, I really like his style. He just kind of brings you along with whatever it is he's doing. And so I thought, you know what? That's what I'm gonna do. Also, it takes less time to edit if you're just kind of showing people what you're doing. So I do think it's probably a little bit easier for him, Justin Rhodes, if you watch him and like some of the other people like Josh and Carolyn Thomas, the Homesteading family. They have older kids to help them or to follow them around with a camera, or you know, they're both home. One of them is not working outside of the home like Alex is all day long. And so it's truly just like me here during the day getting stuff done. So here's some real life for you. My hose is not long enough. I need to move my waters closer is what I need to do. One of our hoses busted the other day. It's been so hot. And so we have not, as much as we would like to, we have not put a water hydrant out in this front pasture yet because it's expensive. You know, it's going to be like a $1,200-$1,500 project. And so we just use hundreds and hundreds of feet of garden hose. But when it's hot outside, sometimes those hoses bust. And so I need to, actually ordered one. I'm supposed to get it in my Walmart pickup today. So I'll have a little bit more hose. I did actually turn on the hose at the house before we came out. That's my least favorite thing to do, is to get all the way out here and to realize that my hose is not on. So then you gotta walk all the way back. And if the kids are not secluded, then I'm usually carrying Waylon with me. He's about 25 pounds. You know, working on those arm muscles. So we're gonna get these girls some fresh water. I filled up their food bowls. In the mornings, I like to give them their normal feed first. That way they're getting that, their layer pellets, and their all flock feed, their non-GMO stuff. And then in the afternoon or in the evening, you know, after we have scraps and things like that, I've made breakfast, I've made lunch, made dinner, whatever it is, we will bring out the chicken bucket, is what we call it in our kitchen, that has all of the food scraps. and we'll give them those as treats. But I do like to make sure that they get their normal feed first. And then of course, you know, they have a bunch of grass to scratch and peck and bugs, things like that. This is actually 2 sets of Premier One poultry netting. So you can see the set is yellow, and so it goes all the way down. And then our other set is white. So it's 2 different sets put together with a gate right there, so I don't have to step over top of it. We move this instead of our coop, and so to give them access to fresh grass. So we had dreams of having a movable chicken tractor coop, and so we built this one right here. I'll get out of here, that way Lucy's a little bit happier. She won't be as loud. So that is a build from Cotton River Farm, and we love it. It's great, but it does have some downsides. So, for example, our land is not flat at all. We have lots of slopes. Where we live, we are in the middle of the Hoosier National Forest. Hold on, and we have a kiddo who's very unhappy in the background. Let's get a pacifier. Hey, buddy! Did you lose your pacifier? Hey, there you go. You what? Oh, thank you. Close this door. I don't think we want the doors open right now. Okay, so we live kind of like in the middle of the Hoosier National Forest, and so our elevation, I mean, it's not anything crazy, but it's just like we don't have like this super flat, you know, even land, and so this thing is actually really hard to move. Now, does it hold a lot of birds? Yes, absolutely. Do we need a better wheel system on it? Yes, absolutely. But it's what we've come to realize is it's more so we put that coop where we want it to be, and then it just kind of stays there unless we're making a really big move. And so for us, it's actually easier to move this poultry netting here instead of moving the actual coop. And I'd say right now we probably have between 30 and 40 birds in there. They have 2 little sun sails that they can get under to during the day, which has been nice when it's been really hot. So yeah, we get about 17 to 18 eggs a day. We have 2 geese, full grown, like full-size geese, and then we have 1 duck. And so at nighttime, if you come out here, they're all in there, as well as our rabbit. We have a rabbit, Bean, and he sleeps in there as well. He's very happy. He doesn't like to be alone, and so he's happy living his life with the chickens. So then, this is also where my garden is. Last night we came out here and we thinned the tomatoes a bit. Alex helped me put some T-posts on there. I definitely have some, there's a difference. I have determinate and indeterminate tomatoes. And so one of them gets really tall and like keeps growing. The other one does not. And so they were just like completely falling over. I also like to prune back all the leaves below the fruit because it's gonna allow my fruit to get better airflow, to get better sunlight to ripen. But also that way, if you live in this part of the country, you know it's like rained, buckets and buckets of rain, like every single day. And if it hasn't rained, it's been 1,000,000 degrees outside. But as it rains and that water splashes up on those leaves, you potentially have the risk of like fungus and blight, things like that. And so just keeping a cleaner plant, cleaning up those leaves and things. So it also helps me see what I have and what I have ready. And then here's just pan. You can kind of see the rest of the garden. It's been so hot. I wish I could have taken care of this a little bit better this summer. It's just been miserable. Squash bugs moved in, ate a bunch of stuff. We did come out last night and we harvested some tomatoes, some green beans, a bunch of peppers, a bunch of basil. We made pesto. And so I think today, when I get some time, my next project is going to be this row of potatoes. They've started to kind of turn brown, and it looks like the leaves are dying back. And so from what I can tell, what I know, that means it's time to dig them up and see what we got in terms of harvest. I have no idea if this is going to be a good or a bad harvest. I think the thing that I'm most worried about is all the rain that we've had, and we have like clay soil. Okay, this is the downside of using your phone to record. Somebody started calling me when I was recording the potatoes. Also, real life. This is what it sounds like typically when I get back in the van to drive up to the house. They're just done. They're ready to be done. They're ready to get out. They want to play. They'll be much happier in just a minute. It is not always aesthetically pleasing, guys. I have 2 boys, a 3-year-old, a 1-year-old, and they're not happy all the time. So yeah, let's get these kiddos up to the house where they can run around and play. Okay, as you can hear, a lot quieter, happier kids. He's playing in the water table. Yeah, they don't like to be contained. They want to get out and play, and I don't mind that. But things that happen in real life, if I let them play over by the garden while I was working, I would be sacrificing every single one of my tomatoes on the tomato plant. Yes, I realize I can we don't touch them, you know, those are mama's plants. We're just pruning the leaves, and you know, we're gonna leave this fruit on the plant. If you have 2 toddler boys, you probably know that does not work. I try to be as gentle, as kind. I can try to be as stern. They just don't listen. So it's just easier to leave them up here where I can see them, but they can play. Or like I said, when I'm doing the animal chores, I leave them in the van. Last night, this was the sacrifice. Alex was at work and I needed to work on the tomatoes a bit before he got home, and it looks like we sacrificed a bunch of the styrofoam off of the swing set. So that's fun. We'll get to clean that up today because I really don't want that to be chopped up by the lawnmower. You know, not the kind of mulch that I want in the ground and in the garden, but that's okay. We'll get it picked up eventually. So yeah, we are gonna go inside now, and I think we're gonna have a snack and then probably see, it's not raining, it's not 1,000,000 degrees, see what we can get put on the clothesline maybe, work on some dishes, things like that. As much as I wish, I still haven't ate breakfast yet, so I'm getting pretty hungry. So yeah, we'll do that and we'll bring you along a little bit later. All right, we are back. Do you guys have this? This is our non-trash pile that did not end up in the can. So I definitely realized we are lucky on a homestead in the country to have local trash pickup. He comes on Fridays, but it's not like a trash truck like you would have like in the city. He pulls it behind a van, and so he actually goes to each trash can and like physically takes the bags out and puts them in like the dumpster that he pulls behind his van. And so because of that, everything has to be bagged. Well, I do not always have time to bag things. So we have this basically extra trash can. I don't know, we bought it at Walmart. and it's just kind of like my overflow. And so it is where if I just need to throw something away from the van, from the yard, whatever, I stick it in this trash can, and then I try, or I send Alex out Thursday night to bag all this. That way he can take it and on Fridays when the trash guy comes. Did not get to that last night. However, my can is full. There's that hose I told you guys broke. And raccoons and the cats, the dog, are gonna start getting into it. And I don't really want a bigger mess than what needs to happen. And so I'm gonna bag this up. I'm gonna get it put in that other trash can. So that's our project for right now. I did get some coffee. I got a snack, so that's good. A little bit something in my stomach. And then after that, I think it's gonna be morning nap time for Mr. Waylon. But I am loving this weather. It's like, I don't know, like 70 something, 80 degrees outside, which I know for some of you, you're probably like, oh my goodness. But seriously, I will take 80 any day of the week, especially with a breeze. I don't know where this breeze came from. We haven't had a breeze all summer. This is beautiful. So yeah, I'm gonna get this trash bagged, and then we're head inside for a nap. All right, we got Waylon down for a nap, so I'm not gonna talk too loud, but I was gonna show you guys, this is my chicken bucket. So this just came from Walmart. It's a stock pot, and it literally just lives here on the edge of our counter. And this is where we put all of our scraps. So there's some basil, some scraps of ham, looks like some pretzels made it in there. It does not have to be complicated. So our chickens are out on pasture. And like I said, they get good layer feed, all flock feed, non-GMO. So they're getting probably about 5 to 10% of their diet just from like the grass, the bugs, things like that alone. And then this is their snacks. And then they have, you know, their pellets make up the rest of their diet. If you are fermenting their feed, even more bioavailable. But don't get all in like works of, oh, what can I feed my chickens? What can't I feed my chickens? I feel like there are so many people out there who, I mean, I'm not ripping out whole tomato plants, you know, I'm not throwing them all the leaves, things like that. I know that's bad, but animals are really intuitive. They know what they should and should not eat. They know what will make them sick. If you watch an animal in nature, if they have a stomach ache, if there's something wrong with them, they intuitively know, God made them that way, to go find and eat what they need to make them feel better. So there are things in this bucket that the rabbit eats, the chickens don't. There are things that the chickens eat that the rabbit doesn't. There are things that the cat sneaks in and they will eat. We actually have 2 cats out there now. But don't get so worked up about what the internet tells you can and can't feed your homestead animals. They will be just fine. Obviously, I'm not feeding them anything poisonous. I'm not feeding them something that they're gonna choke on, things like that. But they'll scratch and peck through that. They'll get what they want, and what they don't basically just turns into compost. And then we move the fence, and it's along with their manure, the straw from their nesting boxes. It is fertilizing the ground, basically. So yeah, it doesn't have to be fancy. I don't have a countertop composter. I don't have anything like that. I literally just have a stock pot that came from Walmart. I think I got about 10 minutes of time to myself in between when Waylon went down for his nap and then Danny went down for his nap. So by the time that it was time for Danny to go to sleep, Waylon woke up. And so I fed him lunch. We are back outside now. He was being very loud, very talkative, which I mean is fine, but Danny is just an absolute beast if he does not get his full nap in. And I was worried Waylon was gonna wake him up. We've had just a really busy week. We've actually been out of the house for the majority of the day, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday this week, which is just really hard on us, like keeping up with like laundry, dishes, farm chores, all of that kind of thing. If you know anyone who has a homestead or a farm, you know that you have to be home to do that. And so when we're not home, it is hard on us. So yeah, I thought I'd bring Waylon outside. That way hopefully he does not wake Danny up. 2 baskets of laundry over there that I got done earlier. Some of it's gonna go on the clothesline. Some of it's actually already dry from the dryer and just ready to get folded. And then I think after that, I think we will head over and put some new straw in the nesting boxes. So that's what we're gonna work on. All right, some more real life moments for you as I'm folding laundry. So it's a little warmer out here than this morning, which is fine, but I thought Waylon might wanna play in the water table, and it was kind of yucky. I don't know, hadn't been cleaned out in a while. And he was trying to drink the water. So I thought I'd go clean it out. And I'm like, what's going on with this hose? There's no water pressure. And so I tried like unhooking it from the spigot. I thought maybe there was a kink somewhere. I don't know, maybe my hose broke again like the other one did the other day. And I'm like, this just doesn't seem right. So I go inside, water pressure inside is fine. So I text Alex at work and he's like, well, go check the back. Like the back spigot that we have on the back of the porch. That's like just fine. And so he's like, well, I think it's like leaking into the crawl space then, which that's not fun. So yeah, here I was just gonna fold laundry and play with Waylon outside, take care of the chickens again. Alex is now on his way home to, I assume, crawl into the crawl space and hopefully find this leak that we have somewhere. Once again, real life homesteading. So Alex is our designated electrician. He is our plumber. He is our carpenter, handyman, whatever needs done. Luckily, I mean, he does work outside of the home, obviously, but his schedule is a little flexible. And so he had me go inside just to be safe. I turned off the water inside the house, like at the shutoff valve. And just so it's not like flooding our crawl space in the in-between time, because he does have like a 45-minute commute to get home. So happy Friday. Yeah, don't really know what we're in for. We'll find out when he gets home. All right, you're home. You've inspected. What is the diagnosis?
I don't know. Nothing's leaking down there. Just a whole bunch of spiders.
Ugh. Still not great water pressure though.
I don't know what's going on. Continue my assessment.
Hurry them up.
Replace the straw in these nesting boxes, and apparently you're not supposed to just put new straw on top of old straw. Decided to come back out and redo that. But I think the girls are happier. Got the new straw in there. Took a couple boxes out that they weren't using, give them some more room. Gave them some old straw to do chicken things. Lucy's very happy to see me. Hey, Randy. You gardening, Danny?
Yeah, I'm digging the dinosaur.
You digging up dinosaur bones?
Yeah.
Have you found any yet?
Yeah.
Yeah? What'd you find?
It's
A stegosaurus?
yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
I did found.
Wow.
That's good.
That's pretty neat.